Okay, so in the last video we learned the very basics of Bootstrap's grid system. In this video we're going to start sizing our columns more purposefully and talking about how to make them respond to device width. So the first thing we need to understand here is that Bootstrap uses a 12 unit grid system. Okay, so that means that our container right here, we imagine that it's broken into 12 units going across. And this is how we're going to size things. So if I want my column to take up 50% of the container, that's 6 grid units, okay? If I want it to take up 25%, that's 3 grid units, because 3 is a quarter of my total 12, okay? So when we size our columns, let's come down here. Div class equals call is how we did it in the last video. I'm going to recommend that you always do it the following way, okay? So we're going to say col hyphen, then we're going to tell it what screen size we're talking about, okay? So this is really important. By default, Bootstrap will make all your columns 100% of the width of the container, okay? This is because Bootstrap is mobile first, and in general on mobile we want our columns to go all the way across. So we're then going to make exceptions to that. So when I say col-md, this says I'm making a column, I'm talking about medium-sized screens, and I want this column to be 6 grid units across. So when we come here, this is now 50% of my container on screens that are medium and larger. And what you'll see is when we get below medium, right here, this goes to 100%, because what we've said is my columns by default are 100%, except for medium and larger, and then it's going to be 6 grid units, okay? So let's practice down here. So here we've got 3 columns. Let's say I want them each to take up 1/3 of the page. So I do call hyphen md hyphen 4. So 4, 8, 12. These are going to take up 1/3 of the page on medium and larger. Quick test, think to yourself, pause the video. Once my screen becomes small, what's going to happen to these 3 columns? Okay, so pick it back up. We've got 3 across, 4, 4, 4. And as I come down here and go to a small screen, I stack, okay? So this makes responsive design really, really, really easy. All right, I can set as many of these column widths as I want, okay? So let's say that this is a grid of 6. So I'm gonna copy this and I've got 6 now, right? And so this is 4, 4, 4, and then it's just gonna wrap 4, 4, 4. So it's just like Flex, just like we've done before, it's just easier. Now let's say that on large screens, I want a different column layout. So I want, let's say 4 across on large screens. So I can say on medium it's 4 and on large it's 3, okay? So this says for screens that are medium and up be 4, for screens that are larger and bigger be 3, otherwise be 100%. So for screens that are bigger than large and up, we get 4 across. For screens that are medium, we get 3 across. And I haven't told it what to be for small screens, so when we go down to small, everything's going to stack. All right, so again, everything in a container, everything inside rows, and inside our rows, column classes that look like this. col hyphen the screen size that you're talking about, hyphen the number of grid units. And if you're looking for the screen sizes, you can come into the documentation. It's extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and this is XS, SM, MD, LG, and XL. All right, practice with that, play with that, and we will pick up the next video and do some more advanced options.